Are we going to pretend like we didn't see the Cincinnati finals just a week ago? Are we going to pretend like Carlos Alcaraz and Novak Djokovic are not obvious frontrunners for the US Open title? No, we are not. That's not what we are going to do here. If you want to see my predictions for the US Open title, then stick around on the channel and you'll see them when the draw is out. But for now, let me present to you my top 7 dream champions at the US Open 2023. Will my dream champions be realistic? I won't disclose that, so you'll have to figure it out for yourself, but for now, let's start off with the most unrealistic one, and it's Gael Monfils. Do I legitimately think that there is even a glimmer of hope that this will happen? No, but if there is a player that is universally loved, then it's Monfils, and quite frankly, you are 100% weird if you don't like him. So it's understandable that people would love to see him do well at this US Open, but either way, even if we see at least one match from him like we saw at the French Open against Baez, I would be really grateful. Now moving on from one veteran to another, in the 6th place it's Novak Djokovic. I won't pretend like I'm a big fan of his, but I respect greatness, so I wouldn't be against seeing someone building on their greatness. Obviously Djokovic's recent US Open history is pretty unfortunate, starting with a default in 2020, straightforward loss in the 2021 finals, and after that he had to miss 2022 US Open, so some might say that he deserves to win the title this time around. But I don't believe in deserving things, I believe that you have to earn them, and there is no doubt that Novak Djokovic is fully capable of earning US Open title number 4. Next pick will probably be a shocking one for those who watch this channel, because I wouldn't be against seeing Stefanos Tsitsipas winning the US Open, and the reason for that is the pure shithousery that would ensue if he won a Grand Slam. He is mostly not loved by the tennis community, so the reaction to his win would be hilarious. I myself am ready to endure the pain of him winning a major just to see how pretentious one can get, because you just know that if he ever wins the big one, Stefanos would become the most insufferable tennis player in the history of the sport, and I think that I would hate it so much at the start that in the future I would just start loving it. Matteo Berrettini is one of my sentimental favorites because I remember pulling for him when he won his first ATP title in Gstaad, and since that tournament I have been a fan of his. There are obvious flaws in his game that would make him winning the big one an almost impossible task, but it's not fun to always be super realistic, so I would love to see Matteo overcome his bad run of form and do well at this year's US Open. The same goes for the young Dane Holger Rune. Firstly, I'm just simply a fan of his. Secondly, I think he brings the much needed competitive spark to the sport, and even though at times even I think that he can be a bit annoying, I can still respect his determination to be great. And the third reason as to why I would love to see Holger win the US Open title is the tears that we would see from all the old heads. Moving on from one 20-year-old to another, the second place in this top 7 goes to the absolute beast that is Carlos Alcaraz. And the reason as to why I would want to see him defend his US Open title is the fact that I would love to see him build on his greatness. I would love to see him build on his legacy, and with all due respect, I would love to see him send the older generation into retirement. Also, it helps that he plays unbelievable tennis that blows my mind almost every time I watch him. He's not too serious, he's fun-loving, and he's someone that wouldn't leave anyone indifferent. And the man that earns the number 1 spot in this dream champion list is none other but the man that brought unforgettable energy to the US Open last year, Frances Tiafoe. Firstly, he is my favorite player on tour right now, if not ever, and I remember last year's tournament was so sick mostly because of him. That one Alcaraz and Sinner match was cool, I guess, but still, his match against Nadal was a banger. Watching him whoop Rublev's ass was beautiful, and even though he lost to Alcaraz, it was such a great match that I can forget about the pain the outcome caused. All the late nights turned to mornings when I finished watching his matches at 6 AM and I had to wake up for work at 7 AM were worth it, and if he ever wins the US Open, it would probably be my happiest day watching tennis. And I would love it if it happened this year to kind of spoil the inevitable clash clash between Alcaraz and Djokovic that everyone is expecting. But most importantly, I would love to see him win because that would bring some never experienced emotions to tennis. Comment your dream champion list in the comment section down below, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and until next time, take it easy, my friend.